What's up guys, today I'm going to be discussing the medic rifle for Battlefield 1 called the Mondragon. There's three variants to this weapon. The Storm, which has, it gives you iron sights and it gives you lower vertical and horizontal recoil. The Optical variant, which has, a red dot sight, and it offers lower initial and lower overall spread increase when using that variant when aiming down the sights. And the Sniper variant, which offers a 2.5 to 4 times zoom scope, and it also offers further reduced spread, it's a nice variant to have. For the review in that today, I'm going to be discussing optimum strategies when using the weapon and break down the stats from Symptic to give you a much better understanding of the weapon's overall strengths and weaknesses, etc. With regard to the variants, all Mondragon variants are basically the same in terms of base statistics, but they differ a lot in spread and overall recoil behavior, but I'll cover all of the weaknesses and breakdowns shortly. To get the weapons, you have to be anywhere between kit rank 1 and 3 for the medic class. I unlocked them all at once, that's why I couldn't remember the exact order in which they get unlocked. The Sniper one I think is the last. I believe you can get Storm at rank 1, possibly 2, I'm not sure. Comment, let me know. And you'll need to at least spend 200 war bonds apiece for each of the variants. So hopefully this review saves you one if you don't want to actually unlock one of them, save yourself 200 war bonds. So let's get to the stats. To start, the Mondragon's a semi-automatic rifle with a 257 round per minute fire rate, a very high 800 meters per second bullet velocity, that's up to sniper rifle terms, and a 12 meters per second gravitational constant, meaning you will suffer from substantial bullet drop over longer range. But you probably aren't going to be at sniper rifle range, though I'm sure the better shots out there can use this thing at longer range. You probably won't be using this thing at longer range most of the time. The magazine size for this weapon is 10. You can add a bayonet, but it will negatively affect your recoil of the weapon and how quick you can raise your weapon from a fire-ready position. And as a full disclosure, there are some people, I've read some unsubstantiated claims saying right now that it doesn't affect your recoil, and whether that's true or not, I'm sure DICE will address it in the future. So I don't equip one anyway. If you do, just be wary of it. The damage chart states that it has a base damage of 40 up to 25 meters away, then it drops down to 35 damage at 50 meters away and stays that way from 50 meters on. For Battlefield 1, the damage multipliers are 1.7 times for headshots, 1 times for upper body shots, and 0.96 times for lower body, arms, and legs. So what that means in general is that when you're shooting the Mondragon, it's a 3-shot body shot weapon, and it's a 2-shot kill if one of those shots happens to hit someone in the head. So, very good damage model. In terms of recoil, the Mondragon Storm has the least amount of recoil in terms of vertical and horizontal recoil. So it's 0.6 degrees for the vertical and 0.192 for left and right recoil. Note that there's no preference for one side. When you shoot the weapon, it won't deviate one way or the other horizontally. The Mondragon Sniper and Optical are both tied. They both offer 1 degree of vertical recoil, as opposed to the 0.6 of the Storm variant, and offer 0.32 degrees of recoil left and right, again as opposed to the 0.192. So the Storm variant offers a substantial advantage in terms of base recoil control. But, again, hold on, that's not the full story. Balance is always a factor. We haven't looked at spread. The Storm variant offers 0.18 degrees of spread when aiming down the sights and not moving, and 1.02 degrees of spread when aiming down the sights and also moving. This is significantly worse than the Sniper variant, which offers 0.12 degrees of spread when aiming down the sights and not moving, and 1.02 degrees of spread when aiming down the sights and moving. Lastly, the Optical variant offers 0.135 degrees of spread when aiming down the sights and not moving, and 0.765 degrees of spread when ADS and moving. So basically, in short, the Optical variant not only offers the least amount of spread increase per shot of all the weapons, it also has the least overall, and by far the least while moving. So if you want to have some sort of mobility when you're moving around using the Mondragon, you'll probably want to choose the Optical version to minimize the spread. But of course that means you have to go back for base recoil, which you'll have to now account for because the Storm has better base recoil control. In terms of reload speed, when reloading from empty, you'll need to use 2 strip clips of 5 rounds apiece. So each one takes 1.133 seconds plus 1.5 seconds of pre and post reload animation. So it takes 3.77 seconds to reload this thing from empty. Of course, you can speed up reloading after firing 5 rounds. So like 10 round magazine, 5 round strip clips, you can split it up. Or you can do single round or two to, like say you shoot 2 rounds, get a headshot, get a kill. You might want to reload after that. My advice though, don't reload the weapon after firing 3 or 4 rounds, as this will take by far the longest time for the least amount of weapons. So either reload after a single round or two, reload after you've fired 5 rounds, or reload after you've completely emptied the thing completely, all 10 rounds. So what ranges and situations does this weapon excel? Obviously it depends on the variant. All of them excel at medium range, which I'd put at about maybe like 25 to 60 meters. But the optical and sniper variants, and of course depending on your skill level and the decreased spread, you could probably go up to 80 to 100 meters if you have the accuracy for it. I personally like the Storm variant best, even though it has the most spread and it's by far the worst in terms of iron sights. But the reason for that is if I was to go further than like 70, 80 meters out, I'd probably just choose the Scout class instead. And if I was going to stay between say 25 to 50 meters, I like the Storm because the iron sights at least gives me the option of not really cutting off my peripheral vision and needing to scope in, and it's quite manageable. That's why I actually enjoy the Storm variant the most. So what's my rating, and would I use it very often? And again, to no surprise, this is easily one of the better medic weapons in the game. I don't know if I'd stop short of calling it the best, but I'd absolutely call it one of the better ones. And I'd probably rate it like maybe an 8.5, 9 out of 10, somewhere in that range. The weaknesses, though, the reason why it's not getting the full grade are because it has a relatively small magazine size of 10 compared to the Zebslatter at 26. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. It's not going to be the most useful weapon for close quarters range either, because especially if you're moving, you get caught in a hip-fire situation, the spread's going to be all over the place. So this is a weapon where you're going to be wanting to be relatively stationary and at medium range, and you can just pick people off at will. You can out-snipe snipers with this thing, especially with the sniper variant. Other than that, other than those weaknesses, you have a very strong bullet velocity, damage model, good fire rate, and easily manageable recoil that give you a threat against anything in like short, medium, and range, even up to sniper range caliber. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider sharing it, and subscribe for more. Thanks, YouTube.